Hi, welcome back. Today it's all about design. We are creating stuff, making stuff. We're always making stuff on this channel. Magic items. I thought it would be nice to make magic books, mainly because there aren't really a lot of magic books anyway, and I kind of like the idea of including them in my game. And I'm sure there's people out there who do feel the same way. So we're going to do that. We're going to make that sort of thing. I'm going to make it clear now, I am not feeling great. I have hay fever. I'm going to sound weird, and well, hopefully I can make it all the way to the end of the stream. We'll see how we go. I'm putting up a poll. Feel free to take part in that poll. And yeah, grab some food, some drink. Make sure you're comfortable. Get your ideas from here, and share your ideas. And maybe we can make it into a magic item in some way. Anyway, it's time to move. Let's get this rolling, shall we? Hi, welcome to HowtoRPG. My name is Fred Wheeler, and today I want to talk about tabletop role-playing games. Now, it could be Dungeons and Dragons, could be Pathfinder, could be ShadowDark, could be Castles and Crusades, could be Nimble, could be all sorts of things. We're going to try very hard to make some magic items, create, design some magic books that you can pretty much include into your game, and it shouldn't really matter too much what your game system is. So we're going to aim as much as we can for system agnostic. But I also want low-level magic items, things that you can actually put in the game and you not freak out and have an embolism that they will tear your game apart and cause you a whole lot of grief and strife. Now, if you're not that sort of person, wonderful, but I know there are a lot of people who feel very unsure about the inclusion of magic items. One, they feel like they have to put them in, and two, they feel like they have to put anything in. And then what do you put in? So let's make the stuff that you can put in that you don't have to worry about. That's where my head is at. Fred Huber has just pointed out exactly the issue with magic items that are books. You know, they're usually two kinds. They're overpowered, they're really high-powered stuff, or the magic item is a book that is it's the spell book of a defeated wizard or mage or sorcerer or something like that, and they don't generally do much else other than that. So let's try to do something else. So I'm going to just quickly prompt hashtag what are your magic book ideas, and let's go with simple and common. I know that's hard. Common. Things that are low power. Okay. I believe that Fred Huber has already provided me with an idea. Cookbook. Ask it for a recipe and it will open to the correct page. It's a very, very simple thing. How useful is it in the game? It's probably very fluffy. It's a fluff thing. But I have actually designed one myself just recently. It's not quite as low-powered as I would have liked, but I will definitely share it with you because I have a document already lined up for it. So let's get straight into it, shall we? Over here, this is my document. Right, so I've created the Manual of Knowledge. I don't think it exists already, so I thought I wanted it to be really simple, so I just put it down as a wondrous item. It's uncommon. And this book potentially contains all information on the universe, and you have advantage on 20-sided dice rolls to know details about anything. Okay, that's quite strong, but you can include that in pretty much any game system. Doesn't have to be D&D 5e or 2024 or whatever the heck it's called, or heck, you could put that into ShadowDark easy. You can pretty much put that into most versions of D&D. You could use Advantage 4E 3.5. If you're using BECME, you're normally, I guess you'd be rolling against your own intelligence score. So instead of using something like Advantage, you would reverse it for something like BECME or Basic D&D, and you'd have disadvantage. You'd just reverse it for that system. I know because I've played the system, and I still do plan to play the system. And so that would probably solve a lot of your problems around making an ability check to determine information if your game master allows you to do so. Okay, let's make a cookbook. Really simple, it's really basic, and then I've got a whole lot of stuff sort of lined up to work through. but I'm hoping that people will provide some cool ideas as well. So this book, copy, paste. It's like that. Okay. Okay, so let's say you can, and let's go ask, not it, the book for any recipe, and it will open to the correct page. It is a very, now I don't think we're going to call it just cookbook. It's got to be called something else. It's got to be called yeah, so the name has needs a tickle up. I feel like we need to give it a cool name as well, because just cookbook won't be probably enough. So we're going to say this is the thing I highlight. Pardon me, people. And I have another drink of water, and we're going to start plugging in things. So I'm going to try to get to about 20. Okay, right, so let's actually a lozenge might help to at least control some aspect of what's going on for me. After this, I'm having some more antihistamine, which means I will not be able to function at all. Okay, so looking at some of the existing magic items that we have, we've got a manual of golems, so there's no point making one that creates golems, so not doing that. Okay, so forget about that one. We've got a book of bodily health, which I think basically just increases your constitution, so I don't want to make that. Okay, we've got the manual of gainful exercise, which basically means strength goes up. So again, books that do like a permanent increase to your ability scores or your attributes of some kind, they're not really low level. Like this, these are very rare, right? Manual of quickness. If it says anything about a bonus action, I'm going to vomit. No, it's about dexterity, so increasing dexterity. So these are all magic items that already exist in 5e, which probably means they already exist in other versions of D&D and other role-playing games. So we don't really want them, right? And then we have the tomes. I thought I'd get this out of the way because there aren't too many of them, so it's easy to get through. Tome of Clear Thought. So this is change with magic. This is really about. Oh, it's basically intelligence buffing. It's buffing intelligence. Okay, so again, just called something else. Leadership and influence. This is probably charisma. Yep, it's a charisma boost as well. So we're covering all the. They're not very creative, if you've noticed. Still tongues. I don't know that I even want to go here with this. No, let's just forget about that. Okay, and then what else do we have here? Tome of Understanding. This is something we need to be careful of. This is Wisdom Boost. Okay, so it's not. No, it's not what I thought it was. Cool. So that's the tomes, and then there's... I did manuals, and there's books as well. Exalted Deeds, Vile Darkness. These are all pretty old ones. The Bookmark, which is a dagger, essentially, so that's not really a book. So we don't have to worry about that one. Okay. And then lastly, the Enduring Spellbook. Now, this is an idea I suspected somebody would say, make a spellbook that can't be destroyed. This book, along with anything written on its pages, can't be damaged by fire or immersed in water. In addition, the spellbook doesn't disintegrate with age. So in other words, you've made an indestructible spellbook. So we can't make that. It's already been done. Okay? So I don't want to bother doing that. Let's do other things. So going to our cantrips and trying to think what is appropriate for a book, not a weapon or armor or anything else. What can we use? And I suspect we're going to have a lot of trouble with this because most of the time books sort of are related to something else, aren't they? So we got here Droidcraft. We might be able to do something with Droidcraft. Now, I could easily cheat and make a book for every knowledge skill, separate knowledge skill that you could make. You know, the book of nature, the book of magic, the book, you know, literally. We could do that. I could pump them out really quick, if that's what you want. Would they be as powerful as the book of knowledge? I suppose they wouldn't be quite as powerful as the book of knowledge that I've created here. But that would be an easy way to sort of create a whole bunch of books, and they're all sort of knowledge based. But maybe there's something else we can do. Encoding thoughts, friends, encoding thoughts. This is, what are we doing here? Encoding thoughts. I don't think we can do anything with this that would be interesting. Apart from the following. Let's try something like this. I'll just do a copy paste for now. Paste that down and let's go here. Now I don't know what I'm going to call it. I know. It's a Manual of Thoughts, Tome of Thoughts, Book of Thoughts. Manual of Thoughts. Manual of Thoughts. Okay. So while holding this book, it records on its pages everything you say or think. End of story. What does that mean? How useful is that? It is basically Journal of Thoughts. That's what we're going to call it. And it doesn't need to be uncommon, it can be common. Journal of Thoughts. Is there anything else we could do with this to make it a little bit more interesting? Okay, while holding this book, it records on its pages everything you think or say. You say or think. Additionally, if the journal is given to someone else, it records their current thoughts if held for, now how long? If held for 1 round. So it's kind of like detect thoughts, isn't it? Additionally. Okay. We might come back to that. Alright, so let's go see what chat has to say. Otherwise, I'll start banging my way through some stuff, okay? Hopefully I've got the right screen up. Yes, I do. Thank God for that. Oh my gosh, there's a lot of ideas coming through here. Okay, the Bard's Book of Insults. Oh, okay. Yeah, but what is it? Oh, does it talk? Is it an insulting? The Bard's Book of Insults basically insults people if they open it, right? I think I know what you're trying to do here. Bard's Book of Insults. It's a good idea. Okay, cookbook, Ramsay's recipes. Not going to call it Ramsay's recipe. No. So the cookbook repository, I'm happy with. That could work. So let's take this name that you have come up with. Cookbook repository. It's very accurate. pretty boring as a name, but boring might have to be good enough for today. My brain is not at this peak. Maybe it never is. Okay. There's a book to rise each stat. Yeah. Which are boring as hell. They're not very good. Book of Portals describes locations of magical portals, where they go, and how to operate them. I like this. So it explains this, but we also want it to have some ability that's magical, right? It's got information, but we want it to have some sort of magical. And I don't want it to be a book where you can open a portal with the book, but maybe the book can lead you to the portals. I think that's what you're trying to say. Describes the location of magical portals. That's what you're trying to communicate, aren't you, Pale Rider? Pale Rider, thank you for showing up. Book that fills itself with whatever you dictate. Yes, yeah. I know what you're talking about. It's essentially the same sort of thing, isn't it? We used to make PC that failed. Save versus 5 will have to save each item they had, if see if it survived. Yes, I know that's very much an AD&D, and I do remember that. I'm not going back to those days, because it's like counting arrows, and I'm really strange. I don't like really counting arrows, but I just want my players to just regularly buy arrows if they use arrows. You know, I feel like it's a bookwork thing, and there's a certain degree of that's necessary. But I'm doing a bit more of it with Shadow Dark nowadays. Anyway, Monster Manual. The book describes a variety of monsters and their weaknesses, lair, habitats, theories on their origin, and so on. Once the book is read, the information is never forgotten. Oh shit. But Pale Rider's right. It is an idea. I mean, I got to turn it into something. I got to do something with it to make it work, I would imagine. But it's actually not a dumb idea. The Monster Manual. Literally a Monster Manual. Now, this Monster Manual, of course, this magical Monster Manual that we make, will of course be better than the 2025 Monster Manual, which doesn't really tell you very much about monsters. I got to do a review on that book, but I'm holding off. There's more and more information being revealed on 2025 Monster Manual, and I want to make sure that once I've said it, I don't have to say it again. You know what I mean? I don't have to go back. Book of Maps, where the book is opened, it creates a map of their location to a certain distance. Oh, geez, that's way too powerful as a magic item to make. It has some benefits for a game master who doesn't want to try to figure out how they navigate this place if they're not drawing out the map for them or using a virtual tabletop with a fog of war. Journal of Thoughts should gain weight if it fills up. Oh, I'm going to leave that to you. Thinking weighty thoughts. Book of Clues. The user asks the book a question, and it will write out clues to answer the question. Oh, that's a tricky one, but that's not a bad idea either. Okay, so I've got a few things to work with. This is filled up for cutting words. Yeah, it's basically cutting words. Exactly. Okay, let's go back to my page and start working on some of this stuff. Since I had suggested making a manual or a book of all the various different knowledges rather than this very universal thing, this is probably a bit too strong. I probably should push it up to rare. It probably should be a rare rather than uncommon. So we're going to highlight this. I'll come back to this and think about this a bit more. But a whole bunch of really cool ideas have been provided. So the Book of Insults, the Manual of Insults, the Tome of Insults, Book of Insults. I think that's what we want. We'll get rid of the Bard's Book of Insults. It's a bit weighty, a bit long. We'll just go here. And what we want to do is we want to take a very simple idea. Why have I got uncommon here? The book's written open. That's a correct page. This can be common. It doesn't have to be uncommon. Do not have thoughts. That's fine. I have to check the spell for that, because detect thoughts is what level is detect thoughts? In 5e, I can't remember. I don't remember what it is in older versions of the game either. This is a problem when you're doing a live stream and you know that you're not well. I was like, oh yeah, that's not. Fred, you can do it. Do it, man, do it. Here we go. Let's try this Book of Insults. Can we make it cute? When you open the book, it yells, vicious. Oh, that's not vicious. Vicious. Vicious and vicious and humiliating hue. Insults and swear words at anyone within, let's say 30 feet. It is a weird item, but we have created it. Bum bum bum. For those people who want a naughty book, this is the naughty book. Okay, so this is the next one, a Book of Portals. Okay, Book of Portals. Tome of Portals, Manual of Portals. I think Manual. Manual of Portals. There we go. So we're going to go down. What we're going to try to duplicate is something that I don't think exists. So, okay. Let's take this. It's going to be fairly simple, right? So copy. We'll go down. Paste. Okay. So reading the pages of this book reading the so when reading yeah, I guess when reading pages of this book, get rid of all of this, done with that. Book for 10 minutes. It describes the location of magical portals on your world, on you portals. When reading the pages of this book for 10 minutes, it describes the location of magical portals on your current world, Current world. Current world, location and how to operate them. Okay. On your current world. Okay. So when reading the pages of this book for 10 minutes, it describes the location of magical portals in your current world and how to operate them. Should it be a different... Can that be common? I don't think there's anything that really duplicates that. Okay. I'll leave that there for now. Keep going. Let's do the monster book. We've got to call it a monster manual because it's just too funny. I don't want to make the monster manual quite as strong as this. But I do want to do something with it that would be interesting. And I think... Okay, so let's take this. Let's take this mechanic here and port it across. Am I doing this? Yeah, something like that. And then I think it could be this, but I'm not too sure. Okay, so let's give it a 10-minute time frame as well. Do I want it to be a 10-minute or do I want it to be something else? Okay, so I think what we do is I don't want it to be a one-off and then suddenly you know all monsters, because then you just hand it over to somebody else and everybody else does it. This is a problem. If we do it like that, it would no matter what it would just be handed around the entire party so they know everything about all monsters always. That fucking sucks. Let's go here for one round. As an. And let's make it an action because it's strong. As an action. You learn a variety of monster and creature variety of monster information. Get rid of this. Okay. You know the weaknesses, strengths, weakness, strengths, name, weaknesses, strengths, ecology, habits, tactics, and history of one monster you can see. Got to be able to see it to know it. I think that's how we'll build it. You know the name, weaknesses, strengths, ecology, habitat. Okay. We'll put in here specialties. Okay, so I think that's got our monster manual done. It's done. Okay. I got 2 more to work on here. How am I doing? We're doing pretty well, actually. I'll come back to chat in a second, but let's just keep working through here. Book of maps. Well, I'm going to work on these 2, but I think I need to at least make sure I have checked chat and at least mark where I got up to. I got up to Book of Clues. I've still got to get up to Book of Clues. So I've got 2 more to do. All right, so let's make sure I don't miss stuff. I wind up rereading stuff that I've already done. Okay, so I need to preface some of this, don't I? So I'm just going to cut and paste. So this book of translation, Pale Rider, I'm going to chuck it in here too as well. If an unknown language is written in the book, a translation will appear underneath. Oh, okay. It's clever. Into Abyssal. Detect Thoughts, 2nd level spell. Okay, thank you, Shy X. Thanks for being here. Yeah, okay, 2nd level spell. It does need to be uncommon. If it is, so the Journal of Thoughts is now uncommon. It has to be that. But that's not the end of the world. I think it's fine. It's a little bit different to the spell. It does not exactly the same. But yeah. So yeah, thank you for that, people. Ben Doherty, how are you, Ben? No, you're. It's all cool, man. Don't worry about it. It's fine. Book of something, Pale Rider. The book has multiple maps of prominent places that show live locations. Tagging with it. Okay, all right. Tourist guide teleports you to the location of the page you are reading without warning. The tourist guide. The tourist guide is probably going to get made. Yeah. Fred Huber knows my catnip. That's definitely, that idea is definitely catnip for me. The instruction manual allows crafting a common. Not a chance. These things exist, and I know you can make them. It's just I don't want the players to be able to just make magic items because they've got a magic book. If a game master wants that, they'll make that shit up. Do you know what I mean? I don't have to make that for them to figure out this. And 1 hour or a short rest and half the cost? Fuck no. Never. So thanks for the idea, Shy X, but people do not make this manual, this instructional manual that allows you to craft common magic items in 1 hour with a short rest at half the cost. Don't do that. Half the cost is not the problem. The time frame is. Okay? Don't do this. You will hurt yourself. Okay, Death Notebook. When a name... Oh, okay, this is... The Death Notebook looks really serious. We better just note that down, so I got to work on it in a sec, don't I? So I'll put that in. And true name must be known. Okay, alright. The Beast Guide. You're considering an expert in beasts and advantage on survival checks to track beasts. I think we can go a little bit further than that, Shy X, because this is an idea that I had. I kind of wanted to do something like this. Dragon Scroll. You gain martial arts for a day. After a week, you master martial arts. I don't know. I'm going to do scrolls later on. Like, we will do potions and scrolls. The problem with doing potions and scrolls is there's so many already that I know I'll wind up treading on ground that's already been done. So, yeah. Tutorial, but when you ask how to accomplish a task, the book will give... My gosh, okay. Like a YouTube video. Oh, okay, alright. So we've got a few things to work with. Let's plonk those all in there. And then if I can find where I had said this and get you guys to keep going, we'll pick the best ideas. Alright, Pale Rider, Shy X, Fred Huber, you're working hard tonight. Today, afternoon. Okay, so here we go. I'm caught up. Now let's go back to our document. Fred gets back to work, starts turning these things into something, right? That's the whole point of this. Okay. Okay, this is the next one. Book of Maps. Well, Book of Maps is one thing, but Manual of Maps might be better. Tome of Maps, Manual of Maps. Okay. Okay, so when the book is opened, it creates a map of your location to a certain distance. Okay, so this is kind of like Harry Potter, and it's that what do you call it? The map that he had that showed you the location of stuff. We do not want to be doing that, but the general layout of a place, we could do that. Okay, so if I do this, I need to have a provisor so it is not going to screw things up. That's probably what I want to do. So I think there's if I put in a sentence that circumvents that eliminates a few options, then that's probably going to be a better idea. Paste. Do this. This almost feels like Arcane Eye, but stronger. So yeah, okay. What level is Arcane Eye again? It's level 4 spell, isn't it? Arcane Eye? Pretty sure. Okay, so when the book is opened, it creates a map of your location of your current location out to, now what's the distance we want to give it? To 100 feet. It's a hard thing to adjudicate, though. This is the thing. It's like as soon as you start giving distances, Game Master's got a lot of extra work to do or something like that. But we'll set that at 100 feet. 100 feet or 120 feet? Let's make it 100. Is it going to matter? 120 feet. Okay, now this is the sentence I need to make sure. Okay, when the map is opened, it creates a map of your current location out to showing. When the map is opened, it creates a map of your current location out to 100 feet. The map does not include the position of, here we go, traps, hazards, monsters, what else? What else do I not want it to screw up? Oh, secret doors. Rooms. Okay. Because I know why Pale Rider is suggesting this. Because this is potentially quite useful for a game master to alleviate some of the drawing of the map out problem. But there are things we do not want them to include. So traps, hazards, monsters, secret doors, and rooms. Okay, I think that's clear enough. Have I missed anything with this one? The manual of maps. Is there anything else I need to put in there that would just ruin the adventure? Because you can just open this thing and look in it and it tells you everything, the solution to everything, where everything is. Like, the position of rooms and passageways is sometimes not the biggest thing to be concerned with. It's more what you will find there. I feel like this would have to be a arcane eye. Has limits too, right? This is actually, to a large degree, this is probably a little bit stronger than arcane eye. It is a 4th level spell, so if we're thinking 5e wise, which I guess we are for now, but it doesn't really apply to any other game, it would be rare. So this is a rare item. This is not a low level item, unfortunately. This has to be rare. Okay, so we'll unhighlight that. We know what that is. Manual of monsters. I have no idea what I want to do with that in terms of where it should sit. If somebody can think of anything that sort of does what this is doing, you let me know. Okay, so we've got that. Next, let's book of clues. User asks the book a question and it will write out clues to answer the question. Okay, I like this because what he's done is he's built a magic item that can be used as a tool by the game master to drop clues without just telling them what the clues are. It's very, very clever the way that he's structured this. This was Pale Rider, wasn't it? Pretty sure it's Pale Rider mentioned this. Tome of Clues, Book of Clues, Manual of Clues. Book of Clues is the one. So we can go copy, paste, and it's really kind of like, is it augury? The spell augury? This is kind of like augury, isn't it? Augury spell. Oh, augury is a terrible bloody spell too. I forgot about just how shit it is. You just deep six this spell, by the way. It's going to be uncommon if we do that, I think. I'll put a little yellow mark on it just in case. I might have to come back to this. There we go. Book of Clues. Alright, so when the book is opened, the reader the book is open, the reader can ask the book a question, and it will write out clues to the question. Okay, I think I've got it figured out. That's essentially, so it's a very, yes, it's a very, what's the word, nebulous item. It could do a lot or as little as the game master wants. God, what I need to know is I need to remember what's another spell that foretells the future. There must be another spell that foretells the future, right? I'm not too sure what that would be. Yeah, I'm not too sure. Arcane Eye. I think Arcane Eye, what's the range on Arcane Eye? I think it goes out to, yeah, but it moves, you can move it quite a long distance from you. So it's 30 feet from you, but then moves from there. Yeah, 120 feet will do. That'll do. That's fine. It's a big enough area. You should get most of your map in. Okay, Book of Translation. Let's call it Tome of Translation. So an alliteration. Tome of Translation. And we'll drop this down. I really like the mechanic. The sentence, the way it's been written is brilliant because I know exactly what I need to do with it. It's a really good job, by the way. So, what do I need to do? Let's go here. And drop this in. Okay. Now I feel like this is kind of like, is it Comprehend Languages? I'm pretty sure Comprehend Languages does essentially this, right? Comprehend Languages, which is a level 1 spell. So we can make this can be common. It doesn't have to be uncommon. So we can do that. Could put that there. Okay. Okay, so while holding this book, and writing while holding this book and writing an unknown language onto the page, a translation will appear underneath. Okay, alright, that's that one done. Tourist guide. Let's see. God, I hope I'm thinking these out and not underestimating how powerful they're going to be. The Tourist Guide. Bold. Teleports to the location of a page you are reading without warning. It's basically like a random teleport, isn't it? You've basically created a random teleport. Well, let's have a look. Teleport, which is a 7th level spell, which means we're going to have to do a little bit of jiggling with this thing for it to be. It can't be a low level spell, magic item. This is going to be a high level magic item. So this is going to have to be very rare. Okay. The teleport's like 7th level, isn't it? So, so here. Copy. And paste. That's very rare. Alright, we haven't got as low level stuff as I'd hoped, but we're at least we're making something, I guess. When the book is opened to a particular page, I think we have to go somewhere else with this. It just occurred to me that we need to base it off whoever's got the book, what they're thinking. When the book is opened, okay, when the book is opened, and the reader is thinking of a particular holiday location, when the book is opened and the reader is thinking of a particular holiday location, the book page presents an image of the place. Okay. Whoever is holding the book is instantly something like that. Instantly Fred, instantly teleported. Who is holding the book is holding the book instantly teleports when whoever is holding the book instantly teleports to the vacation region. Doesn't take anybody else with you though. You're on your own. Okay, so it's not quite as strong as teleport, but it's in the range. It's the same sort of thing. So we're going to make it very rare, and it's a bit weird, this thing. Okay, next. Death Notebook. I'm a little bit worried about this Death Notebook. When a name is written in the book, that person will be attacked by an entity of that world. This is just too strong. We're heading into the realm of, like, we've got a lot of stuff. We've got a few really low-level powered things, but again, I don't want to make a whole lot of stuff that's too strong. The Beastmaster thing is not so bad. This is actually like the Beast Guide. Cut. Oh, am I having problems here? Technical issues. Okay, let's do that. Go down, go up. I hope I have been showing you the screen this whole time. I have, thank God for that. Alright, and then paste Beast Guide. Okay. I think we can do better than this and still keep it low powered. I do. Is there something I specifically want to take from here and put across? I think there is. I think we go here. Let's make it a 10-minute period. So it's not going to be happening in combat. That's specifically why I'm doing this, by the way. And then paste it. I think we had established that it's probably uncommon. This is probably uncommon as well. It's not common. It's doing quite a bit, so let's go here. Okay, so Beast Guide. Pages of the book for 10 minutes. And I like the way that he said this. When reading this book, the pages of this book for 10 minutes. The book for 10 minutes. You are considered an expert in beasts and animals. Beasts. Let's just go here. Our expert in animals. Let's just say animals. Okay. You have advantage on let's go here, wisdom, survival checks. So here we go. You have advantage on let's do track. To track checks to track beasts and intelligence. checks to know about animal you have seen. Okay. You have advantage on wisdom. Okay, wisdom survival checks to track beasts. And intelligence checks to know about an animal you have seen. I think that's where we're heading with this. Okay. All right. The other ones. And asked how to accomplish tasks will give you. I wasn't thinking when I wrote that down. Okay. All right. So here we go. We have a few things. Some are quite interesting, actually, quite clever, actually, and I like the fact that some of them are actually really good as a game master tool. It's not just a thing for the player that will help them. So I like that a lot. So let's go back and have a look at chat and see what they have. Man, that's a lot of ideas. Shit. Okay, there's a few here. A book of travellers, feeding off of Fred Huber. The book is filled with maps of the world, and the user can teleport anywhere in the world. I think we'll leave that alone. I think we've got the tourist book, Book of Travellers. World Atlas takes you to meet Atlas. You really want me to build that? Okay, alright. Book of Future Sight. Think the comic book in Heroes. It shows visions of possible futures without... These are all really high-powered things. I'm not doing anymore. Okay? So if it's a high-powered thing, I'm just gonna ignore it. If you guys want to use them, that's cool. Somebody wants to make it themselves, that's cool. But I don't want to do that. Okay? We're getting into high-powered stuff. Low-level, simple stuff that you can put in your game. You don't need to worry. We've made enough high-powered, like, there just isn't enough low-powered stuff. I'm not doing anymore. Enough's enough. I'm just doing really simple effects. Okay, Polaroid album. You can take a photo with a command word, take a photo with pencil or writing style. I don't think that's appropriate for a book. It's an interesting concept, but I don't think that's the thing I would do it with. So, yeah. You've gone with Polaroid or photo. I mean, it could be called the photo album or Polaroid album. The command word. No, we'll do this. Shy X will do this. I think what I will do is... I think what we will do is we'll make a few adjustments, but I think we can do something with that. Yeah. Yep. I've had time to think about it a little bit, and I think that's not a bad idea at all. Because that can be low powered and it's not crazy, and it's... I mean, clever players will figure out how to use it. Manual of Maps draws what you think you know about the... Yeah. Book of Bloodlines. If a person willingly signs their name, it will write out their family tree. I don't know. I mean, dear. All right, let's keep going. Heavy Tomb requires a DC 20 strength to open. Oh, God. Locked Tomb. A simple lock and key. Great for diary. Okay. All right. Book of Bloodlines. It's like a test. No, just leave it alone. Invisible Tomb. Invisible ink. invisible book requires some magic to read. The invisible tome, basically a book that is invisible, and you. Well, here's the problem. No, I feel like it's a dick move. I don't know. Is there any? I feel like there's somewhere where it can go, but it's going to be a problem unless I would include something else. Otherwise, it just becomes a dick, screw over the players maneuver, which occasionally for a laugh I'm not against doing, but I feel like it needs to have some other aspect to it. Like, it can be invisible, but maybe we need to have it include an invisible pen so you can write an invisible ink on the book. I need to think about this a little bit more. I think it has potential, but I would have to make some significant changes for it to work. Logbook. This book records the owner's life and death. No, we'll leave that alone. We've got something that kind of does that with reading your thoughts and what you say and putting that down. Booming book of 20 questions. Write something in it and it says true or false. Okay, all right. Can hold multiple life stories up to 500 years. Okay. Magic ledger. Determines target object or creature's value. Well, that's magic scales. I feel like that's magic scales, not magic book. If we made scales that were like that, that would be different. But I think that's determining its. Put it on the scales and it tells you what the value of it is. Putting an object on there, determine the value. I think that's a pair of scales, though, not a book, not a ledger. Book of passage. The group with the owner of this book will not be attacked by low-level Densians. What? What are we talking about here? We've gone off on some sort of weird tangent. Book of healing has various healing spells shortened and phrased. No, they're all too strong. Yeah. Do I want to keep asking people more questions? I will put my comment in again. Simple and common. I don't want to do magic healing with the book. It's like every magic item seems to do healing. There's enough healing in the game. Like we heal everybody to death nowadays. I wish you could. So I'm going to put that in, and I'm going to go back to my thingy, and I'm going to work through some of the ideas you've given me, and then I'm going to start doing my own thing for a little bit if I need to. But I will check back with chat. We've got to do the Polaroid album, which is a very interesting concept. The Polaroid album. How would I structure this? How do I want to do this? I don't really want to use an action for it. Because its effect is fairly minimal. It's tame stuff. And I think we can go here. Paste. Okay, while holding this book, you can direct the front cover to take a photo with a command Do we need to have free action put in here or not? No, I don't think we do. While holding this book, you can direct the front cover to take a photo with a command word. Okay, here we go. Okay, while holding this book, you can direct the front cover to take a photo. Take a photo with a command word. A photo of the creature, landscape, or item is recorded inside a realistic image. Okay. I think we got that one sorted. That's that one down. I still haven't figured out what to do with that invisible tome, although it has potential. I don't want to do that, I don't want to do that. Okay, so, and those other ideas that were thrown at me, I'm probably not ready to deal with them. Okay, so let's go back to encode thoughts. We'll go through the cantrips and see if there's anything that we can kind of port across. We did use the thoughts idea, that was actually quite useful. Druidcraft, is there anything in Druidcraft? The weather, a book that tells the weather, you know what the weather is. I suppose you could do that. I don't care about it myself. Tome of Weather, Book of Weather, Manual of Weather. I mean, this could be so let's do that. Let's see if we can do this. I need to make it fairly basic. We want you to open the book. We're not reading it. Let's go here. Paste. Weather manual. Okay. It's opened. It presents an image of the weather expected at your current location for the next 24 hours. Okay. When the book is opened, it presents an image of the weather expected at your current location for the next 24 hours. Okay, that's fine. Okay, let's see, what else do we do? I'll go back to chat shortly, but let's keep going. I think that's all of that page done. Let's go to the next lot of cantrips. Friends, guidance. I kind of have already created something that is kind of like guidance, but is a lot stronger than guidance. I don't like the idea of including a +1 bonus to something, because it just kicks it from a common to an uncommon anyway, because that's kind of where it's going to wind up being. It's an ongoing effect, so we'll forget about that. Lightning, no. Mage hand, not really. Mending, no. That needs to be like a, I don't know, spanner or a screwdriver. Magical spanner or screwdriver. A sonic screwdriver. Message, no. Silvery mind, minor illusions, no. Okay, so none of those are going to work. Mold earth, poison spray, prestidigitation. Is there something we can take from that? It's kind of like the Swiss Army knife of D&D. No. Torch. You instantly light or snuff out a candle. No. You instantly clean. No. I don't think any of these really kind of work. Chill. No. Okay, none of those. We'll leave them alone. Primal savagery. No. Resistance. Frost. Shape water. Shillelagh. Shocking grasp. Shocking grasp. Shocking grasp. Shocking grasp. Something popped into my mind and it's quite evil. Gotta do it. Let's do it. I don't know whether you want to call it what it's got to be called the shocking book, shocking tome, shocking manual. Shocking tome. Okay. And it's going to be common. And it doesn't require attunement. Let's go here. And we'll make this nasty surprise. Okay, common. Let's get rid of the attunement thing because we don't need that. Not for what I have planned. Bold. When touching this book, it discharges 1d6 lightning damage. No save. When touching this book, it discharges 1d6 lightning damage. The tome is not a true book and has no pages. Inside and can't be opened. I think that's it. Tome. Do I have to go big T? Tome. When touching this book, it discharges. It discharges when you say time. Let's just go here. This is not a true book and has no pages inside and can't be opened. Okay, it is basically I've set them in a trap. Okay. Dear. All right, let's keep going. Next page of cantrips, and then we're back to chat. Sorcerous Burst, spare the dying. What's the point? If you're playing Shadow Dark, you're not going to die instantly anyway. You got your death timer if you're using death timer rules. 5e, you got saving throws. Look, up to Kaboo. You can stabilize somebody with a healer's kit or first aid kit. Yeah, we don't have to do anything with that. Let's just forget about that. Thaumaturgy, Thorn Whip, Thunderclap, Toll of Dead, True Strike, Vicious Mockery. We've kind of done that already. Okay, so we might be on to level 1 spells, maybe, depending on what the ideas are in the chat. Yeah, that's where we're at so far. Let's keep going. Back over here. I seem to be still ticking along. Book of Transference. Anything written in the book is transferred to a large tome at your home and then disappears. It's a very unusual I'm intrigued by this idea, Pale Rider. This Book of Transference is very intriguing. I don't know how I want to structure that. I'm going to have to think a little bit hard to make sure it works. And then you get the provisor at the end. I'm not sure I'm up for that. But anything written in the book is transferred to a larger tome at your... Okay. I'm going to have to think about this a bit. Okay. Ammunition manual. Damage types of ammunition can be changed between bludgeoning, piercing, slashing. A manual that does this. Magical manual. Ammunition types. Bludgeoning, piercing, and slashing. Is there a better thing we could use? Is there a better thing we could use that isn't called an ammunition manual? Would it be an ammunition something else? An ammunition pouch? An ammunition... I don't know. What would it be? Oh, I know. It's a quiver. You have this idea is really should be related to a quiver. We haven't. I mean, there aren't that many magical quivers out there, are there? Like, do we even have to make that as such a thing? But I think that is kind of where that idea is going and leading. Kind of like Hawkeye quiver. So it basically means that arrows and bolts would change from bludgeoning, piercing, and slashing. I like that idea more as a quiver. Okay, all right. So the idea's not gone. It's probably penciled away for another day. But yeah. Mug book. While holding the book and thinking of someone you can see, it will create an image of that person. I'm thinking hard about that. We put assorted glyphs on books. Glyphs of warding is the book. Can activate all kinds of nasty effects on someone who doesn't have permission to open the book or move the book. I've basically made a book. Well, look, let's get real. The shocking... To be fair, what I did is I made a shocking tome. And the shocking tome is basically some shite that a lich made just to screw with people. It's like, how can I make their life difficult? Anyway, Book of Legends, inspired by stories of great achievements. Once a day allows one re-roll of any dice. Shy X, I like that. I actually think that's nice and simple. It is low level. It is one dice re-roll, and it doesn't stipulate what dice you're re-rolling. Shy X, that's a really good magic item, and it's mechanical, and you know how I feel about mechanics. A dice roll is just a mechanic. I always consider mechanics in a game usually a lazy form of design, right? Because you've had to resort to using mechanics. It's like 1d6 lightning damage is a lazy form of design because it's not quite as good as it really could be. Might have a place, but this has to, we got to make this Book of Legends. I think it's a brilliant idea. Yeah, we absolutely have to do that. So I want to do that very, very soon. Beneficial bedtime book. Reading the book at the beginning of rate of recovery from exhaustion for long rest. Well, okay. It's quite clever, Fred Huber, the beneficial bedtime book. It's quite clever. I'll give you that. So I don't think I'm going to eliminate that idea. I just need to figure out how do I build it with, if you're not using 5e and you not have short rests and long rests, how do I build it in such a way that it changes how things work for you? So yeah, I like the idea. I really do. It's really clever. It's purposely very situational, but I see what you're trying to do with it as well. I do. I really get the idea. Exhaustion doesn't come up a lot in 5e, but it's a thing that you could possibly have in other game systems as well. I've got to think a lot more about this. I'm going to put an X here, so I don't know that there's much point you throwing more ideas at me because it's going to take me a little while just to dissect the ideas that you've given me so far. So let's go back to the ideas that were put forward, and we're going to do the Book of Legends. And the Book of Legends needs to be okay, so let's go here. Bugger. Sorry. Try again. Copy. Okay, down here. And paste. And it doesn't need to be this. I think this is fine because it's only once per day. It's very, very low. When reading the book for 10 minutes, when reading the book of cut, paste of inspiring stories of great achievements for 10 minutes. Once a day, you can re-roll. Sheesh. Re-roll. any single dice. There we go. There it is. So let me just check to make sure it doesn't sound like I'm talking out my ass. So when reading the book of inspiring stories of great achievements, for 10 minutes, once a day, you can re-roll any single dice. Simple. There it is. Okay. Nice. This one is a bit harder for me to work out. Any little transfer to, I still don't know how to structure it so it will work. This one I think I will probably be able to figure out. This one I like. I just don't know what to do, how to do it. I don't know how to do it. Okay, so let's go with the other one, the beneficial bedtime. What am I doing? I'm trying to move it, right? It's a cut, right, okay. Here we go. Try again, paste. So beneficial bedtime storybook. Okay. Okay, so that's cool. Now, what is something that removes exhaustion? Because this is probably not going to be common. Is it lesser restoration? Spell? Lesser restoration? Lesser restoration. So this is cures a creature of magical condition or disease and improve exhaustion. So yeah, okay, so let's go here. Lesser restoration is not a first level spell, I'm pretty sure though. Second level, so it would still be an uncommon magic item. Okay, alright, okay, I got an idea of what I'm doing. Copy. Paste. It's going to be common. It will require attunement because we're giving you something that's useful. So when reading the book, at the beginning of a rest, when reading the book at the beginning of a rest, it removes exhaustion. That's it. That's all I think we need for that one. Don't make it too complicated. When reading the book at the beginning of a rest, it removes exhaustion. And I go bold. Lesser restoration, second level spell. So it's not quite as common. Uncommon. And done. Done. Okay. Alright. Sweet. Am I on to doing first level spells? I am, apparently. I don't know why I'm having trouble here. Just press a button. Okay, so I have to go through this stuff. But let's go back to chat and see what else you guys have got there. What's our time like? Okay, so we've still got plenty of time. We've got a lot done, actually. I thought I would be a complete mess and pretty much useless to you. How many have we done? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. Yeah, not bad. I still haven't figured out how to do those other ones there. Okay, let's go back to chat and see what chat has to say. Here's a book that I'll probably never use, Greater Restoration. Yeah, no, Lesser Restoration removes exhaustion. So Lesser Restoration says the condition can be one condition. Oh, is it exhaustion is Greater Restoration? Oh, no, it's not. You're right. One disease or one condition affecting it. Blinded, deafened. All right, so yeah, it is Greater Restoration. So that means it's actually a much higher thing. Greater. Oh, okay. I think here. Greater Restoration. Oh, it reduces it by 1 level. We're not going to fuck around with that. Let's just remove the whole damn thing. I could not give a shit. But that does change things because it's now a 5th level spell, which means I need to put it into a different category if you're using 5e. And it doesn't matter if you're playing some of the other games because they couldn't give a toss about what the rarity is of something. But if it's that means it's now rare rather than uncommon, doesn't it? It's all it does though. So, yep. Okay, cool. All right. What else do we have here? Heals exhaustion. I think it's 5th level. Yep, you're right. It is 5th level. So that's sorted out. Let's plug our way through the rest of this. Is my brain working well enough that I can get this done? Is there a spell that gives you advantage on dice rolls? Or something equivalent? Like essentially advantage is like a +5 to your check. Is there something that does that? I mean, that's equivalently, I know the argument is it's between 3 and 5 is the actual numerical value that you're getting if you're having advantage on a dice roll or a re-roll. But I'm just curious as to whether there is a spell as such that does that. Okay, so I'm going to keep plugging my way through the 1st level spells, so let's go back to that screen. Pardon me, I think I need to make sure I mark this. Foresight. Really? It's 4th sight, 9th level? 4th sight is 9th level. True Strike did it for attacks. 2014. Oh, is it? True Sight did it for attacks. Well, that's true. And True Strike is essentially... Well, True Strike is essentially a cantrip, isn't it? I think it might have been enhanced ability for skills, 2nd level. Like whether it's an attack roll or... Look, I honestly think it's less powerful if it's for a skill than if it's for an attack roll. And I think you make a pretty good point. True Strike is a good example of getting a big bonus, right? True Strike. I have a look at True Strike and how that works. Because that's a benefit is like a 10, isn't it? No, you have advantage. This is the legacy one. On your next turn, you gain advantage on your attack roll, blah, 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 blah. Okay, so that's that. And it's a cantrip. And that's an attack roll. And I think being able to get advantage on an attack roll is better than getting an advantage on a skill check, frankly. So I don't know that it's too much of an issue at all. I feel like we can actually probably say that that's actually lower down. But you didn't mention another spell too, and I hadn't thought about that. I think it might even be Enhance Ability. Enhance Ability. Enhance Ability. Okay, let's have a look at Enhance Ability. Enhance ability. So what does that actually do? It's a second level spell. Lasts for an hour. Bears endurance. You have advantage on constitution checks. It also gains... Let's scan the... Okay, so then you have advantage on strength checks. Yeah, right. Now, so I think enhance ability is actually probably a good example of this. I think you have probably nailed it. Right, there's your example of it. The difference is it lasts a certain period of time. I think we were right making an advantage uncommon as a rarity if you're playing 5e. If you're playing Shadow Dark, who gives a toss? If you're playing other game systems, I don't think it's going to matter. So I think, yeah, thank you for that, Shy X. That actually makes it much clearer. You're right. You're absolutely right. Enhance ability. I don't really use enhance ability that often. 5th level, circle power for saves. I don't think we're going to do anything with saves, but I'm very keen on the idea of making magic items that are sort of intelligence based, that give you advantage when you're making those checks to know stuff. But I also know that we've got one that kind of covers all the bases. It does it all. And so I'm a little concerned that maybe I've made the very first one I put together too strong, and it probably should be rare and not uncommon, because it's kind of essentially saying you can do any kind of knowledge check rather than being specific. But anyway, let's get back to where we were. That was really helpful, by the way, so thank you so much. I think that has answered our question quite satisfactory. Enhance ability is a good example of what we're looking at. So let's go back to the chat. See, what am I doing? Am I lost? Okay, people, bear with me. I'm here. We're there. This needs to be rare. It's going to stay uncommon for now. If this wasn't sort of a universal anything knowledge check, I don't think it would matter if it was uncommon. But you're very much right about this. It's like it's essentially doing... Yeah, you're essentially doing different checks. Well, this is more versatile, really. This is more versatile, but I'm not suggesting to be quite as versatile as that. So, okay, all right. Let's see if we can get another couple down before I lose my brain functions. Absorb elements. No. Animal friendship. No. Armor of Agathis. Oh, no. Bane. No. Bless. 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 I guess what popped into my mind when I thought of bless is I thought of a prayer book. I thought of a holy book. That's what I was kind of thinking. So we could probably take this and we could probably tone it down a little bit and tame it up a bit in other places and have a book. I really want something that is more around, what do we want to call it though? Prayer book, prayer manual. Let's go here. Oops, we'll go down again. And I need something that is connected and tied to using an action. There can't be a 10-minute time frame. It's not going to work. Time of translation. Nope, nope, nope. Okay. I think I've got this. Paste it. Okay. And then I needed common, because we're going to make it attunement as well for sure. Copy. And prayer book, prayer manual, prayer tome, prayer manual. I know, prayer pocketbook. Pocketbook. Okay, alright. It's like a little teeny weeny little prayer book. Okay, here we go. So, common, yes, yes, yes. When reading this book, as an action, you bless up to 3 creatures within 30 feet. Okay, so what do we want to do here? It's very, very strong spell, bless. Like it, you know, the fact that it's a level 1 spell is kind of crazy. But here we go. Whenever a target makes an attack roll or saving throw before the spell ends, no. This needs to not be quite this way. So it needs to be something else. The next time the a blessed creature makes an attack roll ability check attack roll saving throw they add okay, next time a blessed creature makes an ability check, attack roll, or a saving throw. Okay, the next time a blessed creature makes... I can shorten this right down, can't I? I don't even have to say it this way. What am I doing? I'm making it long for myself. Next time a blessed creature makes a 20-sided dice roll, add 1d4 to the dice roll. So dice roll, they add 1d4 to the dice. Okay, I think that's got it. Okay, so that's fine. So we did that. We're almost out of time. I should go to chat and just clean up anything else that I need to transfer over and sort through and see if I can figure them out. So we've got a few. Okay. Save. Okay, so there's nothing actually more there. We're going to end this bit here, end this poll. Do you make your own magic books for a tabletop role-playing game? So no, 46%. So this is not a common thing for people to do. Just watching, 30%. Yes, 23% out of 13 votes. So it's not something that people sort of go to any kind of length to make magic books. You know, the thing about, I would advise you, take the time to make a magic book, because the number of times that the wizard, the player, anybody who's playing a wizard harasses you, literally harasses you about, oh, is there a spell book or books around that I could take and have a look at? They want magic books, they want spell books, and if you're going to give them spell books because they probably want to be able to put those spells into their spell book, right? That's an obvious one. But actual magic books that do other things that aren't just spell books, like people who play wizards love this shit. They really do. If you're playing a sorcerer, quite often, or got a sage background, they like that sort of thing as well. Like there's a lot of characters who are attached to books. Like there are still some nerds playing the game, right? So I would suggest giving it a go, because it could be quite a good experience if you ask me. I think there's a couple of things I can do. Should I just do it in the background later on when I end this live stream, or should I just do it now? I'm just having a think about this. Like I had talked about doing it and not doing it, and oohing and ahhing about it, and maybe I should just do it, so that at least you can see what you could do if you wanted to, and it really wouldn't be an issue. So do I want to do that? Do I want to do that? I feel like the manual of knowledge that I created kind of does everything it needs to do. And having a manual of other things is just, I guess, padding things out. I don't need to pad it out. Do I need to make another thing, like a manual of nature, a manual of magic, a manual of... It may be just unnecessary. But this is much, well, sometimes you don't want to be quite as broad as this. Sometimes you want to be very specific and you want to focus in. So maybe I'll do one. I'll do them. And then I'm going to take my drugs. Okay, let's do this. Let's go copy. Let's take this down the bottom here. I have got to, I really think I should change this to rare. I really think I should change it to rare, just because it's encompassing everything. Like it's not just doing one little area. Enhanced ability kind of gives you the opportunity to pick anything under the sun, really. So I think what I'll do is I will do it. I will make them. I'll make some space. We'll build them so you can see how they're done, and then you can make your own, or you can just use whatever I put onto Patreon. And let's go here, rare. So that's rare. Requires a so now it's a manual of nature. Let's do nature. This book. This book contains all knowledge on the natural world, on nature. Let's just say nature. And you have advantage on a d20 dice rolls to know anything. To know. I need to be specific here. This book potentially contains knowledge on nature. You have advantage on a 20-sided dice roll. Dice rolls to know details about, and I need to specify what it is. Nature. So if we're looking at nature, we're really looking at things like, I guess, animals and plants and nature's a very broad aspect, isn't it? Like, you can't just sort of like nature and nothing else. You figured the rest out, Game Master. Well done. I've made your life so much easier. So yes, maybe I will have to provide some sort of guidance. Otherwise, it's going to be a pig, right? So we need to have some sort of structure to this. So about plants, animals, weather. What else? Environments. Is there something else that falls under nature? You've got plants, you've got animals, you've got weather, you've got environments. I think that's everything. And seasons. Okay, I think we did it. Manual of nature. Okay, there's nature. Let's bold this. Okay, so if we were going to make something that's more limited than the manual of knowledge for magic, how would that look? Let's go here. The book contains all. No, let's go here. Most knowledge on nature. Okay, that's better. That's more in line with where it needs to be, because you don't know it all. I don't want them to read into the text too much and think, that means I know everything. I shouldn't have to roll the dice. Manual of magic. Okay, so how would I structure this? The book contains most knowledge on magic. And you have advantage on D20 rolls to know details about, and then we have to list, so we don't have too many arguments at the table. How would this look? I'm up on time. I run out of time, but there's no way I can go to work, so I won't be going to work. I'm going to take my drugs very shortly. Let's see if I can write this up before I'm completely gone. I wonder if, have I even got the screen up so you can see it? Because I keep forgetting to do that stuff, don't I? No, I've got it up. Good. So magic. So what is magic related to? So about magic lore, spells, magic items, obviously, right? What else? Magical rituals, traditions. Rituals, arcane symbols. So we have magic lore, we have magic spells, we have spells, we have magic items, we have magical rituals, and we have arcane symbols. I think that's enough. I think we've covered most of our bases there, haven't we? Yeah, we have. Let's just do that. Okay, so that's for magic. So what if I wanted to do another one and it had to be history? Can we do history? Nature, magic. What's the next most common thing that they're going to ask for is a manual of, I don't know what the hell. Someone in chat, help me. What manual, specific manual of knowledge, if we didn't want to have to use the manual of knowledge itself, and you wanted something that's more specific, what would be another thing that you're likely to ask for? Nature, magic. We've already got a monster manual, so we don't have to do monsters. That's been done, right? Is there something else that I could put in here that would... I kind of demonstrated the process. Do I need to keep going? We've got a lot of ideas, and you did a lot of work making them useful. Yeah, I'm... History. I guess history's the next one, right? History, right? I'll do history. I'll do history because history is a history thing. Manual of history. And then... Yeah, okay. Alright, let's do this. We should be able to take most of this. Go here. There you go. Paste it. Manual of history. So there's plenty of examples of this now. Like there's a bunch of them here. So that's that. Uncommon. Contains most knowledge on history. You have advantage on a 20-sided dice roll on 20-sided dice rolls to know details about now history. Well, obviously historical events and historical events. History is really about events, but it's also about people, historically back, and people. People, it's not people, individuals, individuals. Fred, help me with this. Have I covered everything when we think in terms of history? Because history is about events. History's so wide, isn't it? Like it's so broad. Events. And individuals. I don't know. I think that's it, but I'm not too sure. Okay. See if he's had an opportunity to say anything. If anybody said anything, it'd be helpful. Creature types. Why would it be creature types? Historical creature types. We've already got a monster menu. I don't think we need to go there. Religion on history. Okay. So we've got a lot of it here. So we've done one for history. You want one for religion as well. Is it? Can be done with study action into advantage for help action system agnostic. It's great. Oh, is it? The Manual of History is in 2024 and can be done with the study action on int skills. Okay, so they've already created the Manual of History. Well, then I'll just remove it because we've got other stuff that isn't duplicating what they've done. That would be smart. Let's just take it away. Is it literally called? Is it advantage on the help from the help action? Oh, is it? It's worded. Is it worded differently? Oh, I don't know. Okay, I'm gonna say I'm done. I think my brain is mush now, and it's probably time to do something with it that isn't involving this sort of stuff because I'm struggling a lot. So yes, let's go here, and for all of you who like cute animals. Here we go. So that's it. I will put this onto Patreon when I am feeling a little bit better. I am going to go and take some drugs and probably rest for a little bit, since the hay fever season is crushing me right now. So yeah, huge thank you to everybody who's been watching and listening. Thanks to everybody who took part in the poll. I do appreciate it. Thanks to all of my patrons who support me on Patreon, because without you, I can't do this sort of thing. I wouldn't be able to continue. It would just be too expensive to run the YouTube channel, and time is valuable. So thank you so much. But those people in chat who've been providing their ideas, whether I use them or not, thank you so much. Fred Huber, who is a patron and a moderator. Pale Rider had some brilliant ideas today. Who else do we have here? Thank you, Ben, for jumping in as well. Shy X, really helpful today as well. Thank you so much. And I think that's everybody. I think that was just the three key people who did most of the sort of idea throwing at the wall for me today. So yeah, it worked out. Done with it. Oh, it hasn't been made yet. Oh, okay. All right. That's okay. All right. Anyway, wherever you are in the world, whether it be the morning, the afternoon, or the night, please look after yourself, your family, and your friends, and be nice to your neighbours. And hey, till next time, keep rolling those 20s. Oh, pressing the wrong button.